My first guest tonight has a long history of advocating for Harlem. She currently represents a large swath of the neighborhood in the city council, and she has spent a significant amount of time focused on issues like affordable housing and small business. City Councilwoman Inez Dickens joins us here in the studio. Welcome, very good to see you.
Thank you so much, Errol. It's good being here.
Absolutely. As a member of the council who has some standing and is well regarded, this call for 1,000 new cops, and you're in an area where a lot of police community relations have been sort of really tested over the years. Do we need 1,000 new cops, and if so, why?
Well, you know something, in my district, it's a mixed emotion about the additional police force. My community wants protection. They want the freedom to walk the streets at night. And many of us are children of the 70s, 60s, and 70s, where you couldn't do that in Harlem. But at the same time, we want our sons and daughters to also have the freedom to be able to walk the streets without fear of being pulled over with a stop and frisk policy. So it's a kind of a mixed dynamic that's occurring in my community about the additional police.
Are you going to continue in public service? And if so, what plans do you have for 2017?
You know, Errol, I've known public service my whole life. I grew up in a family that's what we did. And I have no intention of stopping today.
The cultural heart and economic engine of the 9th District lie within the iconic neighborhoods of Central Harlem. The area is represented by Inez Dickens, whose late father, Lloyd Dickens, was a state assemblyman and influential Harlem business leader. Dickens will need to balance the surging economic growth of the district with the needs of longtime residents, many of whom are concerned that they are being priced out of their neighborhood. Here's our tour. We are inside Harlem Hospital here. I must tell you, I am speechless. I haven't been in here in many years. I've been doing stories here for many years. I had no idea there was even the possibility of a space like this. What is this space?
This specific area is the mural gallery, and these are the WPA murals which were done in about the 1930s. They were in the buildings that had been demolished, and they were restored and brought here to this gallery for the Harlem community. And this one is called the Vertus Hayes.
This is a gorgeous space. How does it fit in with the larger mission of the hospital?
The mission of the hospital is that we're here for the Harlem community. So now we also have this to come and see your history, to come and see what we've done all these years, and to see exactly what's going on in the Harlem community.
And
this is open to the public.
I was going to say, this is extraordinary for a public hospital.
Part of healing, Errol, is to be able to see history, a peaceful atmosphere, as well as the health.
Oh, no.
I
feel better just walking in here. We are here at the Schomburg Collection, one of the most famous and impressive libraries in the entire system. Yes. Dr. Khalil Mohammed, who is in charge of all of this stuff. This is one of the galleries that I've never been to before. You've got a lot going on here.
We do. This is our main exhibition hall. A lot of historical material comes here for the purposes of inspiring and educating the citizens of this great city.
Is it mostly for scholars who want to come here and sort of dig around through the very impressive archives here, or I noticed some tourists out front. A lot of people come through here.
The scholars probably make the most use of our collections, but they are a small number of the population who come annually to the Schomburg Center. We had 250,000 visitors last year, and most of them come here to see our exhibitions, to come to our live programming, film screenings, theater discussions,
and your children's art gallery,
and our children's art gallery, which thanks to the tremendous generosity of Councilmember Dickens and City Council and the Speaker, we will be building just around the corner from here in a couple of years.
So to the extent that other council members and the council itself are all investing in your district, what's the selling point?
The selling point is that this is not just about the culture of just Harlem. This is an international culture that's historic, that permeates the entire world.
We are on the western edge of Mount Morris Park, I should say Marcus Garvey Park. And tell us your name.
My name is Valerie Bradley, and I'm a co-founder of the Marcus Garvey Park Alliance.
Okay, and you are?
Carla McIntosh, president of the Marcus Garvey Park Alliance.
Okay, very nice to meet you. This is extraordinary, this whole amphitheater here. I see it's named after Richard Rogers.
Richard Rogers grew up in this neighborhood in the early 1900s, and he loved this park. So when we were raising funds to revitalize the amphitheater, Richard Rogers Family Foundation put money into it, as well as Councilwoman Inez Dickens. What is playing here now is the Classical Theater of Harlem's A Midsummer Night's Dream. So this is kind of like our Delacorte here in Harlem.
And so this being Harlem, culture is really kind of a required part of your portfolio, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Culture permeates Harlem. It is what lifts the people of Harlem. It is what brings tourism. This administration is always talking about tourism. Well, that helps to bring tourism.
So we are here at the summit of the old Mount Morris Park. Very glad to be here. My dad spent his entire youth here, played basketball, and
I don't know that.
yeah, lifelong friends that he made in and around this park. And I see it's still a pretty vital place.
Well, you know, it had gone down quite a bit during the difficult years that Harlem was faced with. The homeowners and the residents in the community that surrounds the park fought very hard and formed their own alliance to protect this park.
So two more of the leaders who are keeping this park alive. Tell us your name.
Sideria Crestfield.
And you are?
Laurent Belly.
Okay, and tell us a little bit about this tower. You say this is the only fire tower left of dozens that used to be here in the city.
That's right. The tower was designed in 1857 by a famous engineer, Mr. Julius Cole. And this is the last one here in the city of New York.
It's going to take millions to really do this right, huh?
Yeah, to do it right. I mean, we put in about $300,000 just to shore it up so they wouldn't tear it down or it wouldn't collapse a couple of months ago. But now we've got the money together that will actually refurbish it, rebuild it, so that it will be secure for generations to come.
It's interesting how, you know, history is wherever you step in, right? So for a lot of people younger than me, this is where they had like some famous hip hop videos were shot up here back in the 80s and 90s, right?
Yes. Old school hip hop.
We are at the Bolton complex. This is 127th Street near Frederick Douglass Boulevard. This is new construction from the ground up, right? This was rubble before?
Yeah, this was completely vacant, with the exception of these few lots that you see, and these few other buildings already that you see that were standing. This was just
and
vacant land.
All told, all of the different buildings surrounding this courtyard, how many units are we talking about?
We have 256 units.
Wow.
In the brand new units.
Okay, fantastic. And this is, when you say moderate income, what's the upper and lower ranges you're talking about?
So we have 117 apartments available for households earning between 60 to 100,000, depending on the income, the makeup of the household. And then the balance of the apartments are for low-income households making between 30 to like about $50,000.
Wow. What was the city's role in all of that?
Well, this was, you know, it was city-owned land. We've argued back and forth for a long time in order to get the number of affordable units that I felt the community needed.
You said you grew up down the street from here.
On 127th Street between Frederick Douglass and Adam Clayton Powell. But
they named the block after your dad.
we were the first black family on that block.
So this is part of the St. Nicholas Park Apartments. It's still under development, and part of the deal was that Harlem Mothers Save, the anti-violence group, and Jackie Rowe Adams would get some free space. This is your first time seeing this, your new office.
This is my first time. I really thought it was the outside lot. I kept saying, it's not ready, it's not ready. I did not know this was ready. And it's so appropriate. It means mothers and fathers that had a loss, we have a support group every month, sometimes twice a month. We have a youth group, a family that's saying, we hurt too. This means that they have a permanent home. That's what it means.
We're here on 125th Street, the world-famous Apollo Theater. And you told me your father, who was very active, not just in politics, but real estate, sort of envisioned some level of prosperity coming back.
Yes, he believed in that. He believed that development brought about employment for the community. It raised the economic base.
Is that part of what you've inherited? What's next for Harlem?
Yes, that is what I've inherited, and I fight to try to keep the population here. And that's what I fight for. I fight for the developments to come, for the changes to raise the base, for us to get the employment, but also for all of us that stayed here. We open our arms to everyone to come. But in doing that, we also want the opportunity to be able to stay here.
Okay. Well, look, thank you for showing us around.
Thank you so much, Errol. Thank
Okay.
you so much to you and New York One for coming into Harlem. Welcome to Harlem.
Okay. There's also been discussion that if there should be a vacancy for the state assembly, you might consider running for that seat. Is it the same district that your dad used to represent? Would
Yes,
it
it
be the
is.
same seat?
And the district
And
that
your
my father
uncle,
was,
for that matter.
and my uncle in the 40s, that was a little larger district because then it went from like 110th to 155th. So now it's much smaller. It's a district, but yes, it's basically the same Central Harlem district.
Okay,
Yes.
so either way, we should expect to see you possibly running for a different office in 2016.
I'm a child of Harlem. I intend to stay a resident of Harlem. I intend to work hard for Harlem, and yes, I intend to stay in public service.
Okay, we'll leave it there for now, and hopefully we'll hear some good things ahead.